vintage motorcycles, friendship, and making memories. It is the Pioneer of Hoosier Motorcycling. And Bob, I gotta ask you, tell me about this group.
Oh golly, we dreamed it up about 10 years ago. And it's been a pleasure now for 10 years to do this every year.
But what is the group about?
It's about motorcycling from the past to the present and into the future. It's from the early 20s on up through, I'm 90 now.
Oh, you're 90 years young.
Yes.
You still ride a bike?
Yes.
This organization, you know, it's also, as I mentioned, about friendship. Tell me about the friendships made when you're on a motorcycle.
Well, there weren't many friendships while we were racing. But,
well, right.
But in between the races, we were the closest friends, still are.
What is the mission, I guess, for the Pioneers?
Just to encourage the future of motorcycling and get young people interested in what motorcycling is really about, covering all the field from off-road to on-road pleasure racing, pleasure riding, and really that's what it's about.
As the president of ABATE, what do you want us to know that drive automobiles and trucks and semis and other vehicles, but what do you want us to know about you on the road?
That's a great question, Terry, and I'm always glad when people ask that. And whether you're a motorcyclist or a motorist, see and be seen are the biggest tips. So if you're a motorcyclist, we want to make sure we're visible so people see us in traffic. And if you're a motorist driving an automobile, we want you to look for us in traffic. Obviously, we're a little smaller. It's easier to get hidden, especially with A-pillars in cars and such as they are now. Don't just glance, really look and see motorcycles, because we are a little more vulnerable out there. You know, it's not just a fender bender when we get involved in a crash. Somebody's going to get hurt. So just make sure you're looking.
Tell me about one of the great adventures that you have been on that you'll never forget.
I met my wife, and
on a motorcycle?
Our first date was on a motorcycle.
Where'd you go?
And we've now been married 70 years.
Oh my goodness, bless your heart.
And still riding.
And still riding, and she's right there with you?
Oh, absolutely.
The first bike you ever got on, the first motorcycle, what was it?
I laughed. About 30 minutes of being born in a sidecar.
What do you mean?
So, even though I've been riding one more year than I am old.
It's so nice to meet you, Bob. You keep riding.
We'll continue.
You'll continue. Okay. We've had such a great time meeting some of these great members of all ages that are part of the Pioneers of Hoosier Motorcycling. And if you'd like to be a part of it too, all you have to do is you can find them on social media as well as abateonline.org.